Welcome back to our channel where we share all the tips and tricks for creating a thriving and beautiful garden. Today we're going to show you how to create a miniature forest in a pot. This is a technique that has been used for centuries in Chinese gardens and it's incredibly easy to do. You don't need any special equipment or materials, just a few small trees of the same species in a large enough pot. The idea is to plant several small trees of the same species in one pot so that they grow up through and around each other. This creates a dense, overgrown look that evokes the feeling of being in a forest. Miniature forest is a design element that can be used in any garden, but it's especially effective in small spaces. It's also a great way to add some vertical interest to your garden. When done correctly, a miniature forest will appear natural and harmonious. The trees will appear to be growing together as if they were planted at the same time. They will also be interacting with each other in a natural way, such as by using each other for support or by growing their roots together. In order to create a miniature forest, you need to start with healthy trees. You can find these at your local nursery, or you can grow them from seed. If you want to start from seed, it's important to choose a species that is native to your area. This will ensure that the trees are adapted to the local climate and soil conditions. Once you have your trees, you need to choose a pot that is large enough to accommodate all of them. The pot should be at least twice the width of the trees at their widest point. You also need to make sure that the pot has drainage holes. If it doesn't, you can drill some holes into the bottom of the pot using a drill bit that is slightly smaller than the diameter of the tree trunks. Now let's get started. The first step is to fill the pot with soil. The soil should be well draining and rich in organic matter. You can make your own soil mix, or you can buy one from the nursery. Once the pot is filled with soil, you can begin planting the trees. Start by digging a hole for the first tree. The hole should be deep enough to accommodate the entire root ball. Be careful not to damage the roots in any way. Place the tree in the hole and then fill in the remaining space with soil. Water the tree thoroughly, then repeat the process for each remaining tree. You'll notice that we leave a lot of space between the trees when we plant them. This is important because you want to be able to see the trunks of the trees. If they're too close together, the forest will look too dense and impenetrable. We also recommend planting the trees at different depths. This will create a more natural look and help to emphasize the verticality of the forest. To do this, simply dig a hole that is the appropriate depth for the first tree. Then place the tree in the hole and fill in the remaining space with soil. Repeat this process for each remaining tree, varying the depth of each hole by a few inches. Once all of the trees are planted, take a step back and assess the composition. Do you like the way that the trees are arranged? Are the trunks visible and are they at different depths? If not, you may need to move some of the trees around until you're happy with the composition. It's also important to prune the trees regularly. This will help to maintain their shape and size, as well as promote new growth. When pruning, always make sure to use clean, sharp tools to avoid damaging the trees. There are many ways to prune trees, but we prefer the natural look. To achieve this look, simply remove any dead or diseased branches first. Then remove any branches that are crossing each other or growing too close together. Finally, remove any branches that are growing too long or too tall. This will create a more natural flowing shape. After pruning, you can water the trees again. Weeding is another important aspect of caring for a miniature forest. You want to keep the weeds under control to prevent them from competing with the trees for resources. You can weed the forest manually, or you can use a herbicide. If you use a herbicide, be sure to follow the instructions carefully to avoid damaging the trees. Fertilizing your miniature forest is also important to keep the trees healthy and growing. You can use any type of fertilizer, but we prefer to use a slow-release fertilizer. This type of fertilizer will provide the trees with the nutrients they need over a period of several months. Just be sure to follow the instructions on the packaging carefully to avoid burning the roots of the trees. With proper care, your miniature forest will thrive and become a beautiful focal point of your garden. Over time, the trees will grow together and create a dense, lush canopy. The forest will appear more mature and established, and you'll be able to enjoy the beauty of nature right from your own home. So, why should you have a miniature forest in your garden? Well, there are many benefits to having one. First, it's a great way to add some vertical interest to your garden. The trees will add height and create a sense of depth. This is especially beneficial in small gardens where space is limited. A miniature forest can also be a great focal point for your garden. It will draw the eye and create a sense of mystery and intrigue. This can be especially effective if you plant a variety of tree species and create a dense, overgrown look. In addition, a miniature forest is a wonderful habitat for wildlife. The trees will provide food and shelter for birds, squirrels, and other animals. This can help to create a more balanced and sustainable ecosystem in your garden. And finally, a miniature forest is simply beautiful. There's something about the lush, verdant foliage of a forest that is so appealing. It creates a sense of peace and tranquility that is hard to beat. If you're looking for a unique and interesting way to add some vertical interest to your garden, we highly recommend trying out the miniature forest technique. It's incredibly easy to do, and the results are truly stunning. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed learning how to create a miniature forest in your own garden. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. We love hearing from our viewers and we'll do our best to respond to everyone. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week and we think you might find something that interests you. Until next time, happy gardening. A properly designed miniature forest is not only visually appealing, but also promotes biodiversity and provides numerous environmental benefits. Creating a miniature forest involves selecting a variety of tree species and planting them in close proximity to one another. This diversity of species helps to create a balanced ecosystem that supports a wide range of plants and animals. Additionally, the dense canopy created by the trees provides shade and helps to regulate temperature, which can help to mitigate the urban heat island effect in cities. Moreover, a miniature forest can help to improve air quality by absorbing carbon dioxide and other pollutants. The trees in a miniature forest interact with each other in a variety of ways that contribute to their overall health and resilience. The tree's root systems intertwine, creating a network that helps to stabilize the soil and prevent erosion. The canopy of the trees also helps to protect the soil from wind and rain, further reducing erosion. Additionally, the trees provide habitat and food for a variety of animals, including birds and insects. These animals, in turn, help to pollinate the trees and disperse their seeds, which helps to ensure the forest's continued growth and sustainability. In conclusion, a miniature forest is an excellent addition to any garden. Not only does it provide numerous environmental benefits, but it's also a beautiful and sustainable way to connect with nature. If you're interested in learning more about miniature forests or other sustainable gardening practices, we encourage you to continue exploring our channel's resources. With a little effort and knowledge, you can create a thriving miniature forest in your own backyard and enjoy the many benefits it has to offer. Now check out our recent video on 8 common mistakes when growing indoor plants. Make sure to watch it and learn how to avoid these mistakes.